What's going on, guys? We are back with some more Final Fantasy XIV. Recommendations popped up, and it was saying Matter of Perspective Level 5, Levies of Vent Branch, which we had planned to do once we started back anyway. So we got the Levies of Vent Branch here, so let's go ahead and do the level 5 since it's... Apparently we missed it. Should have done it before, I guess. Didn't know any better being a sprout. We've already got this one, I think. Yep. Matter of Perspective Guildmaster Cian wishes to instruct you on the fundamentals of archery. Oh, okay, so I could have got a better bow and stuff, but I missed that. Could have had better gear. Good morrow to you, Lalo. I felt that it was about time you returned. Have you grown more accustomed to the bow? Before going any further, I wish to ensure that you have grasped the fundamental essence of archery. Tell me, Lalo, do you truly understand what it means to see clearly? To see clearly is not merely to look, it is to observe with intent. You fail to do this, and no amount of talent with a bow will avail you. An archer must remain vigilant for any trace of his target, overlooking not the smallest detail, lest it prove crucial to the realization of his purpose. He must in short see clearly. The coming task will test your powers of observation. A number of targets have been hidden throughout the city. I would have you seek out and destroy them. Each will fall easily to your heavy shot technique. When you have completed the task, return to me and we will continue. Okay, so we go kill stuff. Outside, am I? Must have missed one somewhere. They hid it up under there from me. Luckily, Lalo has the advantage of a low center of gravity, and he was able to find that. Oh, I'm wrong. You have returned. I trust that you've begun to comprehend the crucial importance of seeing clearly. The next trial will test your powers of observation of battle. Travel to the North Shroud, and there put down 8 Microcus and 8 Opopos, in contrast to the enemy, and wholly unthreatening targets. In the previous trial, these creatures may be relied upon to move around and fight back, nor are those the only differences being comparatively numerous. Microcus and Opopos are anything but difficult to find, and yet you may be assured that this task will test your powers of observation, albeit in a different manner. This time you will need to evaluate the abilities of your opponent, and so doing so you will learn, amongst other things, that Microcus produce a poison that can quickly sap one's strength, while Opopos, like archers, possess the advantage of range. Knowing their strengths, how will you go about mitigating them? If you commence your attack before identifying an effective strategy, you will soon be made to regret your folly. But if you take the time to observe your targets from afar, you will surely glean the knowledge necessary to defeat them. I look forward to hearing your success, Lalo. Okay. So... what was out there? Yeah, I don't know everything enough. No, for sure. I know that's a little quicker. Grab this one too. Let's just go ahead and do the Opopos. Oh, I'm running wrong freaking way. Look at me. What you got? Maple longbow. Damage 7. That's what I got. That's what I got. Ain't it? Alright, yeah, I think that's pretty much what I got. Holy crap. Look at that thing. Holy crap. When your HP is reduced to 0, you're KO'd and rendered unable to perform any actions. In this state, you're left with two options. Either return immediately to your current home point or wait for another PC to revive you. Yeah, I'm not going to be waiting. Alright. In addition to rendering you temporarily weakened after being raised, suffering a KO also severely damages your current equipment gear. Piece of equipment durability is 0, status drop. Oh, okay. Well, that sucked. Alright, let's see. Oh, no. I'm the wrong way again. I do believe this is the correct way. Yeah, I didn't even see that big old level 50 thing. What's that big old level 50 thing doing here? Like anything has a chance to kill it. No, I guess there are all sorts of people running around here. I've seen a lot of people that didn't have sprouts on and stuff, so they're probably high enough level to kill it. We'll avoid it this time. I wonder if it's just always there, and I just didn't see it last time. Alright. One more. Last one. Welcome back, young Lalo. Tell me, were you able to put your techniques to good use? Yeah, I got owned by a scorpion, too. When faced with an enemy who can attack from a distance, simply raining arrows upon it is wasteful and dangerous. Both the battle might be not more than a contest of strength. By employing the appropriate technique, however, one may bring down one's foe with greater ease and fewer arrows. For instance, you may choose to prime your weapon well and strike hard for employing toxins to sap their strength over time. On the assumption that this fact dawned upon you prior to the fall of your 16th target, I congratulate you on passing the trial. Les Silveri. Not bad if you ask me. The Victor pulls a good bow and is enthusiastic besides. A pleasure to meet you. My name is Lila Aliapo, and this is my second year at the guild. Ah. It's quite plain to see that you have talent with the bow, but you must take care of your mind, your surroundings when you're pursuing a target. No shit. I had my eye on you for the duration of your trial, but not once did you notice my presence. I wasn't hunting you. Mind your surroundings. That is rich coming from you. Your every movement is wasteful, adventurer. Your back is crooked, your elbow is misaligned. It takes you an age to prime your bow, and twice as long to loose an arrow. Don't you talk to Lalo like that. In summary, you fell on all accounts. You have no talent as an archer, none whatsoever. I shall say it plain, Lucien. This man is not fit to wield a bow. For our sake and his, we should provoke his membership. As I've always said, outsiders can scarce be expected to understand, never mind master, our noble art. We waste our breath trying to teach his like. Well, allow me to introduce you to Silver, our comrade at Butts. The fellow was once of the god's quiver, you see, and he can be a little opinionated when it comes to archery. Oh, but you mustn't pay him any heed. He's like that to everyone. You'd be lucky to get as much sense out of a fossil brain logwood elezen like him at the best of times. With them, it's always 12s with this and elements that, and oh, no offense intended, you see. None taken, Leia. I know full well that some of my kind can be prideful in excess and intolerant to other races. Although people may behold the same object, ever will they see different things. There's no right or wrong to it, for it's a question of perspective. What matters is the perspective we choose to adopt. You are possessed by bright eyes, Lalo, eyes that bespeak great understanding. They shan't lead you astray, so trust to them and to what they see. It didn't see the scorpion. Go now and resume your training. I look forward to marking your progress when next we meet. Okay. I guess we get that. Yeah, these are options. I'll take that. All this stuff is... Alright, she has another one. Guildmaster Lucien wishes you to learn how to see things from different perspectives. Oh, that's a lot of experience. That's a better bow. It's better. Hey, there's some upgrades here. Yeah, I'll do that. It pleases me to see how you have grown as an archer. Plainly, you have taken my counsel to heart and learned to see with your own eyes. I would now have you discover what it means to behold things from a different standpoint. You will recall Aleapo, one of our seniors at the guild. I have given you over to her care for this lesson. Speak with her and do as she bids. I've been expecting you, Lalo. Shall we get on with it then? First, a quick review. Remember how the bowmaster had you seek out and destroy targets hidden throughout the city? Well, I would have you do the same. This time, however, you will need to venture outside the gates. I am sure you've realized this by now, but there is no guarantee of safety within 12's wood as you reach. As you search, you should take care to mind your surroundings. You won't have the luxury of focusing solely on your quarry this time. You'll have to keep your eyes peeled for potential threats as well. That said, your objective is to destroy the targets alone, so avoid unnecessary combat and maintain a safe distance from any hostile creatures you encounter. Should you come under attack, take to your heels, risking direct confrontation only if you can't outrun your pursuers. Really? The targets are hidden in the central shroud. As before, use the heavy shot technique to destroy each one with a single arrow. Go well, Lalo. So I just go get the targets. If something attacks me, run. I just need to go to Bent Branch. Bent Branch looks closer to me. Wait a second, I was in Bent Branch. I must have. Damn it. Is it Central Shroud? I think it's Central Shroud. Close enough, I guess. Oh, we're down over here. Yeah, the ladybugs and squirrels I ain't too worried about. All the stuff around here I ain't too worried about at all. Hey, I saw a level 51 of them. Oh, and I'm supposed to run. That's right, I'm supposed to run from them. That's so weird, I gotta run from them. Why do I have to run from them? I don't think they really mean to run from them. That's going to be annoying if it really means to run from them. Okay, so that's what, a wall? Nice. So just run from the wall. Stay in the area. You're here on Keitha's behalf. I see you broke one of her eggs, you say. And there were 4 of the creatures. The Kikiran are a nuisance at the best of times, but we must now add trespass and chocobo murder to their list of transgressions. They have forced our hand. Our retribution must needs be swift and decisive. And who better than you to deliver an adventure? Find the lair to the west of here and make an example of exactly 4 Kikiran scramblers. We can send no clearer message. Okay, so we kill the things over here. Easy peasy. Oh, do I go too far? Okay, yeah, I'm guessing I go too far in other sites. Oh, that's all of them. Okay. "98 seconds. We're gonna hark back and get that one too. I guess they're every 5 levels for your class. I don't know if it's like that with every class. The deed is done. Good. A grim task, but a necessary one. You have shown them the folly of inciting the wrath of those who consort with adventurers. Perhaps now the Kikiran will think twice before giving in to the larcenous proclivities. Ooh, yes. Oh. Well, we got like the hood. I'm gonna take that. Because we might be coming out of these robes. Yeah. Osha Jab, a wood whaler at the matron's Leith, is looking for a sure-footed adventurer to pluck blue trumpets from the roots of nearby Hermit Spiller. 8,400? Yeah, count me in on that. Ho there, adventurer. You seem light on your feet. Fancy a quick skip along the route to the Heaven Spiller here? I need someone to pick off a blue trumpet or 2. Sure. I know that you're thinking it's not more than a mushroom, so why the commotion? I'll tell you why. You allow the fungal menace to multiply, and within a moon they'll be covering the whole damn route and rotting the wood clear through. Just watch your step while you're up there, though. The dire mites on the ground won't waste any time adding insult to falling injuries. Once you're done, head up to the top end of the route and report to Theodore. He'll be glad to hear someone's taking care of one of his more dreaded chores. Sure. You have something else to do there? Thermite eggs? Sounds like you do. Your willingness to assist the residents of the 12's Wood is commendable. If you have a moment, mayhaps you can assist me with a delicate matter. My duties as a wood whaler, including inspecting the matron's leaf for signs of damage or decay. It's never been a difficult task. Until the other day, when I discovered several clutches of Daramite eggs. I have no problem slaying the beast when full grown, but the mere sight of their eggs sickens me. Spare me this disgusting task and destroy the eggs. Sure. Oh, everything's right here, huh? That's convenient, is it not? Wait, am I supposed to run up on this crap? Oh man, I guess I am. Oh, we need to kill eggs too. We just need one more egg. Let's go grab the last one. Fate join. Fate. Oh, okay. I don't understand that. Said I could join it, but part of another. I don't know. I don't know. But I couldn't do anything, so I won't do anything. Oh, am I supposed to be attacking these? Maybe. Alright, so where's the last egg? Oh, attacking me? It's the egg over here. No. What's up? What's up? What's up there, I'm guessing. Alrighty. There it is. So it's an important third for emergency travelers to ensure they're safe with destinations. You must keep them clear of deadly predators. Okay, so yeah, I'm supposed to kill these things apparently. Okay, well I'll do it. So we're gonna kill a few more of those. $1,720 seem hardly worth it. Oh, he's going to have some decent gear. Oh, you cleared the route of blue trumpets. Wonderful. To be quite honest, I have this teeny tiny problem with height sign. No, this is not my ideal posting, but we all do what we must. Keeping the route passable is an important job, you see. It's one of the few ways folks can traverse the central shroud since the Calamity all, but split the area in twain. It is not perhaps the easiest pathway to walk, but there are those who believe the will of the matron herself caused this tendril of a heaven spiller to remain thus suspended, that it might serve the forest people. I'm rather fond of the notion myself. Give me more. I'd rather have more physical. Let's go ahead and grab this one. If the door is looking for a deliver a message, yeah, I can deliver a message. It is regrettable, my duty to stand watch over the road from here to Bent Branch Meadows. If it's your duty, it's your duty. The ranch has become a veritable institution of Gridania, so any threats to its continued operation are taken quite seriously by the wood whalers. Which reminds me, perhaps, that it was my imagination, but I believe I caught a glimpse of some shadowy fellow not too long ago. Would you mind passing word to Rosalind down below? I would go myself, but, well, it's hard enough marshalling the courage to walk the route for my shift. Yeah, sure. What, that I could always rely on a kind soul to handle such tasks. My training prepared me to face beasts in combat. Not once have I shirked that duty, but to lay hands upon those sticky, slimy eggs is just... Well, clearly you have no problems doing so. Thank you for your help, adventurer. My pleasure. A shadowy fellow. Now that you mention it, I may have seen something. I dismissed it as a trick of the light before, but I thought I saw a shadow in the forest to the north. Still, I suspect it's nothing more than a Kikiran thief on the run. If you must sate your curiosity, by all means investigate. Should you actually find something of note, I would like very much to see it. Sure. We're gonna go back there. Thing, yeah. We're almost done with this zone. Nothing. Talked to the wrong person, my bad. Alright, Lalo. Well, you made short work of those targets. I must say, you seem to have learned. It seems you've learned to seek your prey without being preyed upon. Let's continue, then. I remind to give you more practical experience, and we received a quest just recently, which I think will provide the perfect opportunity. It seems tree slugs and vultures have been congregating in every increasing number in the vicinity of the honey yard, causing no end of trouble for the locals. We have been tasked with culling the beast. Ain't seen what I don't know about tree slugs. This request comes direct from Steelglade Fane. When the wood whalers and the God's Quiver cannot spare the forces to attend to such matters, the conjurers often turn to us for help, and before you ask, there's good reason why they would rather not see to this particular task themselves. The creatures in question possess abilities which can cause problems for the magically inclined. But that's quite enough about conjurers' troubles. Lucienne taught you how to discern an enemy's key traits, did she not? Well, now you'll need to do so while maintaining situational awareness, lest you be overrun. Consider this a comprehensive review of her lessons and mine own. Your orders are as follows. Head out into the East Shroud and there put down 8 tree slugs and 8 vultures, using all of your skills as an archer. Good hunting, Lalo. Okay. I want to see what that other one is in the, because there was a level 10 by Mother Mione. Let's go grab that one too. Maybe we can get that one done while we're out as well. Levies, Bent Branch, Gontron is responsible for assigning guild levies at the Caroline Canopy and is confirmed to give you an introduction to the world of guild quests. Yeah. Mion has told me much of your endeavors, Lalo. Have you considered attempting one of the guild levies available here at the Adventurers Guild? Guild levies are the means by which we document requests for assistance from citizenry prior to assigning them to adventurers possessed of the necessary skills, from battlecraft levies that require the extermination of monsters, to tradecraft levies that ask for the creation of goods, to tasks we term levy quests, are many and varied in their nature. Should your interest be piqued, I suggest you make your way to Bent Branch Meadows and speak with Tierney. She will be happy to set your feet on the path to completing your first levy quest. Okay. Bent Branch, let's go kill tree slugs. Where are they at? Here. Unattuned Hawthorne Height. Oh, we get attuned East Shroud. Oh. Teleport to Bent Branch for 75 gil. Nah, let's not do that. Let's just run. It's not that far. I'm that cheap. School of Hard Knocks. That's where we're running, and we'll grab that as well. We'll attune to the Hawthorne Hide as well. And we're not going to do fade. I'm going to kill tree slugs. Achievement unlocked, mapping around the shroud. Cool. Alright, so done with tree slugs, we need vultures now. That's it. Okay. Oh, all of them are dead. We just wait till they respawn. Where's she at? Hey, you need to kill this, right? Maybe she don't I want to target myself. Alright, last one. Alright, now let's search for the shadowy figure. Oh, that's all over here. No problem. I think we also had to go to Bent Branch as well. So, yeah. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. And then boom. Boom down in here, I think. Is it down there? I don't know. Is this where we're supposed to go? Grim Darkness of the Forest, yeah. That's where we're supposed to go. Alright, barring any further interruptions. Deliver the bag to Rosalind. Sure. Oh, it was already pretty close. Haven't done anything in this game with crafting yet. I see people doing all sorts, like cutting down trees and stuff, gathering herbs and stuff. Have you found something? I have. Remnants of a campfire and a forgotten bag. This could belong to any adventurer or traveler. And inside we have a chocobo, burning brush, and roseling oil. But wait, why would a traveler make camp here when it would be far safer to beg the hospitality of the Branch Meadows? Bugger me, I think this belongs to that stranger said to be meddling with the chocobos. Thank you, adventurer. We have been late, relaxing our duties, but no longer. I swear we will find this shadow. Seems like the same thing. We'll just do that. Good experience. I gotta just do these quests. Sorry, I love her. Rosalind would like you to warn other sentries of the stranger's activities. Sure. We cannot allow other sentries to dismiss similar sightings. They must know that what we have learned. To that end, I prepared this letter containing everything we know about our mysterious stranger. I need to ensure to my comrades throughout the shroud. Once each sentry has committed the details to memory, have them write their name at the bottom of the confirmation. Start with Elmar at the Bannock, then find Bernard at the eastern gates of Big Branch Meadows. They ought to relay the information to the others. Finally, make sure Ilgar sees the latter. He stands watch within the stables, so if this stranger's aim is to harm the chocobos, Ilgar may have to personally put an end to it. Absolutely. So, let's see, where's the first one? So let's go to this one first. away from me, Mike. You don't look like you're here for training, because I'm not. Got an order for you. You will do what you're told. A shadowy figure, understood. I'll pass word to the recruits as well as the sentries. You do that. Let me just make my mark here. That should do. If you follow the road south, you'll find Bernard at the bridge of the Bent Branch. Godspeed, adventurer. That's what I shall do. Bernard, hey, I know a secret about you, Bernard. You have business with me, adventurer? Yeah, I know you're... Here, read this. Rosalind is right to be cautious. Rosalind is right to be cautious. For this stranger to venture so close, yet go to such great lengths to remain undetected is highly suspicious. They clearly have designs on Bent Branch. We appreciate the help. I should write my name here, yes? Yes. And here, take it. You'll find Elgar in the stables past the at the right. I did click this. I guess I didn't enter the at the right. My bad. Hey, I'm still a freaking noob. Hey. Greetings, adventurer. My name is Tierney, and I am in charge of signing local levy quests here at Bridge Meadows. Awesome. Contract permits you to seek me out, Diddy. Then I shall assume you have a basic understanding of what accepting a guild leap might entail. But first things first, I must be certain that your skills are a match for your enthusiasm. The Adventurers Guild will not approve of me sending a fledgling hero to his death to dishonor, or dishonor for want of the requisite capabilities. Take a moment to peruse. Oh my gosh! Take a moment to peruse the task outlined in this guild league. Do you believe yourself up to the challenge? I don't know. 1,300. Probably not. That's not a lot. Accepting guild leaves. With the local distributor of guild leaves known as the Leave Meet, we'll bring up a list of leave quests. Highlight quest to display its objectives and select accept to add the quest to your journal. Leave allowances are required to accept the quest. You will be granted 3 leave allowances every 12 hours Earth time up to a maximum of 100. You may accept as many as 16 leave quests at once. Okay. A pack of anoles have been spotted near Bent Branch Meadows, far from their usual hunting grounds on Naked Rock. The local chocobo keeps are worried that this is only a matter of time before the hungry scale can stray too close to the stables and endanger the birds. To prevent the worst, the wood whalers are seeking volunteers to find and cull the creatures. Lead quest objectives are deemed complete when all targets have been slain. Be aware that some targets may attempt to flee the battle and join reinforcements, making it imperative that you deal with them before they have an opportunity to do so. Objectives report to Central. I am glad to hear it. Pray be aware, however, that anoles are wont to flee to their broodmates when they sense they are overmatched. You may be wise to prevent such a reunion, lest the battle be drawn out past your limits of endurance. Open your journal under duty to the main menu and begin the selected lead quest by pressing the initiate button. When an anole feels overmatched, it will flee the battle. If it reaches a certain distance, then another anole will appear. The lead quest objective can be more easily achieved by slaying the flesh of creatures before it's joined by more of its kind. Alright, to initiate your lead quest, first open your journal via the duty section of the main quest or by pressing J on your keyboard. Next, select the lead quest to bring up a detailed description of its objectives and its rewards. Clicking on the map button will show the approximate location of the lead quest objectives. Though you can initiate a lead quest at any time while in the corresponding area, it is recommended that you wait until you are close to the objectives before doing so. This will increase your chance of becoming eligible for completion bonuses. Once you have arrived, open the journal, select lead quest, and click on the initiate button to begin your duty. Okay. Oh, am I supposed to be doing these? Or are these a waste of time? I'm guessing they're not a waste of time, but I mean, 1,000, 1,500 experience is not a lot of experience. Where the heart is, the lavender beds, Margaret is in front of that. Margaret has information that may interest wealthy adventurers. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you are not an adventurer. I've seen you run into an firmly faced setting where determination as adventurers are wont to do, hence my presumption. But are you not? Okay, if so, I have information which might interest you. Rumors has it that plots within the lavender beds are to be auctioned off. What's more, bidders need not even be Gridanian. Any old adventurer or minstrel could, with sufficient funds, purchase land and build their own home. Considering how discerning the elements tend to be about who can and cannot reside in the 12's woods, it's rather surprising, if not hard to believe. But if there is truth to these rumors, well, who hasn't dreamed of owning their own forest cottage, perhaps with a small vegetable garden and a stable large enough for a chocobo or two? You know, should your travels take you to the mirror points where the ferry to the lavender beds is, perhaps you'll find a twin adder representative who can tell you more. I would be shocked if they weren't involved in such monumental change in policy. Mind the birds, adventurer. They get nervous around strangers. You read this, do what you're told. What's this? A shadowy stranger within the Tron Leaf. You've already shown this to Bernard and Elmer, I see. Good. Then all that's left is to inform the staff here. Not everyone here is a wood whaler, true, but even our stable boys wouldn't hesitate to take up arms to defend these chocobos. Good. Look at that. What do you got? Extending fences. Look a lot at Ben Branch Meadows wishes you to procure furnace building materials from the Dynamites. Okay. Greetings, sir. You have the distinct air of an adventurer. Might I trouble you for some assistance? In recent days, a heartless cat has been sneaking into the ranch to scare our chocobos. The poor birds are in a state of constant unease, wondering when the next fight will come. It is my hope that extending the fences will help to keep the intruder out. To that end, could I ask you to procure some strands of dynamite web? They make for a surprisingly sturdy construction material. You should be able to obtain the web from dynamites themselves. There are usually a few to be found roaming the lands around the ranch. 6 strands should be sufficient. Yeah, I should have read that before. Elgar would like to impose upon the kindness of an adventurer. With rewards like that, yes, impose. I'll take those gloves. 10,500, yes. You're quite a compassionate adventurer by the sound of it. Well, far be it from me to look a gift chocobo in the mouth. I have need of a capable man like yourself. We received a peddler at the gates the other day, an excitable Lalo, that was sweating and swearing that he had been attacked by large winged beasts. Yet other than hornets, I know remote flying creatures in this region. If there's any truth to what he said, I might prove problematic for other travelers. Follow the road south and see if you can find any evidence to support his claim. And should you find something, kindly tell Lothera to patrol his area sometime instead of just standing beneath the spire and staring at the God's damned road in those woods. So we still need to do Roselit. Don't know where those are. Complete rank 1 objectives. So we got to do roselets. Where are they at? Central Shroud Bent Branch. So they're around here somewhere. We'll get them. Alright, let's go turn the archer thing in. Yeah, and then we'll come back. I'm still learning. I'm not exactly sure what to do. You got left the sanctuary, you got entered the sanctuary. So for see, I can do Ethernet here, but I can't do it at the other place. Judging by your smug expression, I'd say you've acquired a feel for your maneuvering to exploit any weaknesses of your own. Vultures are wont to keep their opponents at wind's length, and their attacks will send you flying. The solution to this is simple: maneuver to the rear. Tree slugs, on the other hand, have an annoying knack of disrupting spellcasting with their secretions. As such, you would do well to keep the creatures away from any mages in your party. Needless to say, good positioning is the key to success in battle, which is why it is absolutely essential that you know your target's traits. The knowing of these traits is a fundamental part of hunting. Before the keepers of the moon conceived of archery, they dwelt not in the city but the forest. For my people, hunting was a way of life. In hindsight, I suppose this was more of a lesson on hunting than on archery. Lucien knows well my past, so mayhap this was her intent. Hunting, too, is an art. Before I came to Gridania, I never gave it much thought. But the more I think of home, the more I begin to realize. Forgive me, I am not usually given to fits of sentiment. Truly forget I said anything. But do not forget that a hunter must recognize his prey's weakness and strike swiftly when the opportunity presents itself. That concludes the lesson. Now, I suggest you pay Lucienne a visit. She is doubtlessly eager to hear from you. Okay. It is good to see you, Lalo. I hope you have learned much from you adventurer. Is it true you are the one who slew the tree slugs and vultures? Yeah. I murdered him. How dare she entrust the security of our people to the hands of a stranger? I knew Makoto were reckless, but she is downright irresponsible. Shame on her. Don't you be talking crap about Makoto. I don't know. Did I not warn you that it was folly to suffer that woman's presence in our guild, Lucien? Every time she wastes an arrow on game, she drags our noble art back into the darkness. And this boy, too. He is an embarrassment to us all. Boy, that is quite enough, Silver. I got your boy. Your skill with the bow is undeniable, but is your love for our nation. As is your love. Yet there is much and more you have to learn. Lalo has matured greatly in the short time that he has been with us. You know this to be true. Lalo's the man. You know it, Silver. You know it. Can't deny it. I suggest you come to terms with Lalo's presence here. You will be giving him his next lesson after all, unless of course you have any objections. Good. As for you, Lalo, I would have you devote yourself wholly to trading ahead of your lesson with Silver. Suffice it to say, he will not be an easy instructor to impress. On that, we can agree. Before you take your leave, there is something I would tell you. You are as dedicated a student as ever set foot in these halls. In recognition of your fervor for learning, I hereby grant you permission to join the other guilds. Naturally, you will need to obtain the express permission of the relevant guildmaster, but I doubt that any will refuse one such as you. In Gridania, you will find guilds representing lancers, conjurers, leatherworkers, carpenters, and botanists. You are free to seek membership in any that pique your interest. All pique my interest. I ask that you keep but one thing in mind. Although there is merit in exploring new avenues, there is also virtue in pursuing a single discipline with all one's heart. The decision is ultimately yours to make. Whichever path you take, be it that of the bow or no, I shall follow your progress with interest, for in you I see the makings of greatness. You now have access to the armory system. Quest to unlock other classes can be undertaken by speaking with the receptionist in the corresponding guild. There exist myriad disciplines in Eorza that if interest to take up. For the most rewarding experience, however, it is recommended that the first focus on mastering your current class. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yes, give me that bow. This violators will be shot. Small talk, nothing. Gear sets. Gear sets allow you to save several different combinations of equipment and swap them at your leisure. A button for the gear set interface is located in the upper portion of the character window. Okay. This can be a very convenient feature for players who regularly switch back and forth between various classes, as well as for players who wish to have ready multiple sets of gear for the different types of duties they undertake, such as PvP or instance raids. Select the plus button to register your currently equipped gear as a new set. Okay. Got a bunch of quests. I guess a bunch of duties. Let's go to... Well, I gotta go to the Central Shroud, so let's go to the Central Shroud for too close to home. We'll go from there. Too close to home. It's right over here, it says. Right? Alright, so let's go to Central Shroud. guess we gotta talk to these. Oh, no, we gotta start the thing here. So what is it? J, they said? J, yeah, Louise branch. Is this not right? Gillies means published adventures of various quests. We can see to set before such tasks be created in Branch Meadows and speak with tyranny. In order to get your building, task. Rumor says it's possible. Is not set to not the right in this area. If you return to your current home at any point during the request, you will automatically abandon the duty. Proceed. Yeah, proceed. Difficulty. When you initiate the request, you will be given an opportunity to adjust difficulty. The greater difficulty setting, the higher the level target enemies will be. Difficulty results from completion. So, more rewards the better. The request difficulty can be lowered at any time during the course of the duty by selecting the quest name and duty list by selecting difficulty. Please note that lead quest difficulty cannot be raised once the duty has been initiated. Confirm. So what do we kill? Once you have initiated your lead quest, location of the map objective will display the new lead quest targets can also be identified by distinguished icons right above there. Okay. Last one. Alright. And all lead quests have been completed, you will be given the option to return immediately to the issuing lead mate and collect your reward. Yeah. Give me my reward. I like that. Your first foray into the world of lead quest appears to have been a success, and here's the reward for your efforts. Bonus has been awarded based on difficulty. A bonus has been awarded based on speed of completion. And bonus. Okay, so we got even more experience. Class quest rewards. There are some actions which only can be learned by completing specific class quests. For example, the ranged lancer weapon skill, piercing talon, is acquired by completing the lancer's guild quest available at level 15. Now that this little trial is behind us, I have no further qualms about assigning you tasks around Big Branch Meadows. There are lead quests aplenty for hardworking adventurers such as yourself, and a deal of fame and fortune to be won during your duty. Cool. City-state leaves unlocked. Alright, cool. Tyranny believes you're ready to join a guild heist. What is that? Should you be interested in a challenging, quite unlike anything your average loot quest, you might consider joining a guildist. If you wish to know more, pray speak with Battle Warden Ribald outside yonder tent. I will inform him of your success against the animals so that there are no doubts as to your abilities. Sure, yes, okay. Let's go talk to this person. I was told a stalwart adventurer would be along shortly. I take it that is you. Then permit me to tell you all about our current operations. Wait, this might be your first time participating in a guildist. I remember my firstest. It was the night of my 20th name day. My fellow guildmates invited me to join them in the slaying of a family of priestess of pesties who were stealing chocobo eggs from Bitbridge Meadows. The moment we arrived, one of the terrible beasts immediately turned to me and charged. The thing was thrice my size and had already named some chocobos. Choco keeps. There was no way I could win, so I simply froze and waited for the end. But that's when I remembered that I was not alone. My friends rallied around me, and together we defeated the pests. That, my friend, is what Guildist is truly about. What say you, friend? Care to experience Hest for yourself? Okay, so I can't do it. Maybe because I got this going. See, that's a blue one. Purple. It's a purple one. It's a purple one. Oh no. I don't know. But I can't do that. So, we move on. Be back. Got other things to do. Let's see. Extending fences. Where is that? Right over here, okay. Ah, you have returned. Tell me, were you able to procure the dynamite web I requested? Absolutely. Yes, these will do nicely. These are perfect for binding posts together. Were I still in Ishgard, I would never have entertained the notion of using such bizarre material in this manner. Oh, did I not mention I was from Ishgard? Aye, well, Gridania is, in actual fact, my second home. My native land was once famous for its chocobo stables. No man in Eorza could speak of the creatures without his thoughts turning naturally to Ishgard. Sadly, however, that time has passed. I left my homeland to accept employment here at the ranch, instructing others in the methods of chocobo husbandry, yet I have found that it is often I who am the recipient of others' instructions, and on a great many matters. Truly, one can never know what life may hold in store. What? Okay, I guess I can't do it. What? Do I have to do these first? Deliver the strands of direct delivery. Hand over. Take them. Yes, these will do nicely. Yes, Ishgard, I know about all that. Why can't I turn this in? What is going on? What is going on? Let's simply the Hest. I can't do that. If you break in faith. Let's do this. Where is that at? lavender bed, so we gotta go here. Okay, so we just take the road down. Migrant marauders here. Let's go here. Hey, these things. I need these things. I think this is the last one I need. Why do I need to kill? Need it. A northern vulture, too, and they were defending a nest? Well, perhaps we could omit that last detail from any official reports. I would rather not give Igar any further cause to be cross. Thank you for slaying the beast. You may rest assured that I will not permit this to happen again. Yeah. Who knows? Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Oh yeah. Put that. Lothair guard at Galvin's Spire wants you to visit the hedge tree. I have another task for you, adventurer. I need you to head to the hedge tree to the southwest of here and speak with Hero Leon. After tending to the hedge tree, the hero was scheduled to board a boat from the mirror planks. Well, the vessel departure time has come and gone, but there is still no sign of her. Knowing how absorbed the hero becomes in her work, I am not unduly concerned. Armiel, however, was responsible for organizing Leon's transportation and is likely wondering if her wayward passenger is ever going to arrive. Perhaps a gentle reminder is in order? Perhaps so. What do you need done? Another goddamned adventurer desperate to stick his nose in everyone's business, is it? Then seek out the groundskeeper of Tamtara, Deepcroft. You'll find him in a shack just outside the entrance. He is the Hermit, as the Hermit is all too happily to live close to his work. When I last patrolled that area, I could hear him swearing inside his shack from the road. I know not what vexes the man, but I suspect he'll welcome the presence more than I. Okay. Let's do the lavender beds thing. I'm not trying to fate. Good evening to you, sir. What can you wish to know about the auctions? Very well, allow me to explain. There is a growing concern that our immigration policies may have been a tad restrictive in the past, and so the citizens of the council and the Order of the Twin Adder have, with the blessing of the elementals, decreed that the lavender beds be set aside for adventurers who possess the necessary funds to purchase and maintain their estate, that is. Should you look upon the beds with your own eyes, though, I think you'll agree that it's well worth the price. Have a word with the skipper yonder. She'll ferry you across. A recruit stationed at the pier can tell you more about the beds once you've arrived. Proceed with the quest where the heart is, the lavender beds. You may visit any residential ward within the lavender beds. Okay. Walking the planks. A local at the mirror planks wants you to help deliver goods that have been unloaded at the pier. Yeah, sure. Perfect. You're just in time to help deliver some goods that arrived not moments ago. Allow me to double check my manifest. Now listen carefully. Take the suit of plate mail to Darren Mert. He's the guard you see right over there. The Montoy beans belong to Kylie, and the smoked crayfish balls to my friend Berth here. That's it for this load. A strapping adventurer like you should barely work up a sweat, am I right? The cargo you're looking for hasn't moved since they loaded it at the end of the pier. Much obliged. Alright, give me all this stuff. Alright, now we go to Kylie, get some of this, talk to Berth after. They should be here by now. Are these the Montoy beans? Praise the matron. It's my job to pick up provisions from the pier and deliver them to the settlements in the area, but I couldn't leave without the beans. Now I can finish loading up my cart and be on my way. Thank you for your help. My pleasure. The pleasure's all over here. 1, 2, 3. No, this won't do at all. I'm sure I heard Wathioff mention the shipment had... Oh, thank you very much. It would have been a short afternoon of fishing if this bait hadn't arrived. Yeah, my pleasure. Favor for the fisherwoman. Berth, a local at the Mirror Planks, is looking for someone to retrieve her fishing rod from Lilystone. You seem a capable sort. Would you mind running over to Lilystone and retrieving my favorite fishing rod for me? I was happily dropping a line into the water, you see, when I suddenly noticed some ghostly sphere of fire bearing down upon me from behind. In a blind panic, I twisted around and flung my rod at the apparition before fleeing back here to the planks. I dimly remember the rod passing straight through those unnatural flames and hitting the side of the tent as I set up for afternoon naps. It's probably still there, but I can't bring myself to. You'll go in my stead. Oh, thank you. Yeah, sure. What is Hermit? You have something for me? I do. Your armor. Oof. What is my new plate mail? And what would a wood whaler want with metal armor, you ask? Let's just say that after a number of engagements with Guardian heavy infantry, my mind has been open to the protection such steel encasements can provide. Fair enough. Fishing? You can fish in this game? Okay. All done then? Excellent work. Swift and sure. Adventurers are such handy individuals to have around. I mean, dude, you couldn't do all that. If we leave cargo piled up on the pier, the next crew has no room to unload their shipment, you see. It can be backbreaking work, but someone has to do it. I don't want to just take that. Alright. It's breaking faith. A favor for a fisherwoman. Let's do favor for the fisherwoman first. Oh, you got another one. What you got? A resident of the mirror planks to see someone to assist with this work. Can I interest you in another job? This one will ask a little more of your skills, I promise. What I need is for you to swat some of those hornet swarms you see buzzing about the place and collect their husks. About 4 bags worth would be enough. What am I going to do with a pile of dead biokin? Well, the sooner you give them to me, the sooner you'll find out. Okay, let's do that. Around here. One more. Where am I going to be here? That's cool. This game's got a good look, good feel to it. I gotta get used to the controls. This is a little different for me. You have the husks, good. Hand them over then. These are perfect. Hope they didn't sting you too terribly. Now all we do is take some bottles of liquor and squeeze these beauties inside like so, and there we have it, a fresh batch of my special sting brew. The ranchers of Bent Branch Meadows put in an order for a bottle quite some time ago, but gathering those husks is always such a chore. Speaking of chores, would you mind taking this to them as soon as you're able? The last year after goes by the name of Margot. Give her the sting brew. A along with my regards. Oh, and I apologize for the delay with you. Yes, sure, I will do that. Ferry skipper. The ferry is bound for the Lavender Beds. Will you be traveling with us? Go to the specified ward. Housing. Each of 3 nations has established a residential district wherein like-minded adventurers can establish a base for their activities. Each residential district is divided into wards, which in turn house 60 plots of land each. Wealthy individuals may purchase plots of land upon which to build their own estate halls, while free companies may jointly purchase plots. Those seeking simpler quarters may instead purchase a room in the apartment buildings found in each of the residential districts. Estate halls and apartments can be customized by installing fixtures and placing furnishings. Please note that in the case of estate halls, specific company privileges are required for customization. More information on housing can be had by speaking with the resident caretaker stationed at each residential district. Cool. We're supposed to do that now. I don't know what we're supposed to be. Slay like Daenerys. Party like Tyrion. Okay. Behold, the Cowardin. Hello all. Oh, hope you're having a great day. Cool. Enterprise tag. I don't get this stuff. Welcome in my little corner of paradise. Message book. Design home. Florist. Okay, yeah, I don't know what any of this stuff is. We'll figure it out later. Right now, I just want to play the game and level and do stuff. And I don't think we have to do that. It doesn't. So we need to go to Bent Branch. Okay, let's go to Bent Branch. Oh, no, let's retrieve the well-worn fishing rod for this person over here. Let's do that before we get out of here. Okay, she left it out here. Is that it over there? Oh, you want to attack me? Alright. I have 32 of these I haven't been using. The only one time, I got this heal. I've used that once. I haven't used these at all. I'm guessing those are just good for selling. This is the one time I could have possibly used it. I just got one time. Just got one shot. So why do sometimes they attack you and sometimes they don't? I don't know. Hey lady, I got your fishing pole. Got your fishing pole. Did you find my fishing rod? I certainly did. I certainly did. Yes, this is it. Thank Nefika you came along. I just can't fish with anything else. The Valken and such around here pose no threat to me, but those flames I've never seen the like. I wonder if I will ever build up the courage to fish at Lystone again. Better gear, nice. Alright, so everything's back here. Simply the heist. Sting in a bottle. Yeah, we'll go with all that stuff. Hey, that person had a chocobo. How do I get a mount? I would like a mount. How do I get a mount? A mount would be better than not having a mount. Yeah, I think it was something as simple as I didn't choose a reward. Yes, yes, yes. Take it, take it. Give me critical hit. Strength, dexterity, vitality. I wonder what's better. Item level is 11, so I'll take an item level that's higher. Archer level 16. Yes, I am, Margot. How might I... Here, drink this. Ah, the sting brew. At last I am aware of what must be done to acquire this. I am most grateful to you. Few folk are willing to run towards a swarm of wrathful hornets. Ordinarily, this liquor is drunk for the unique and not altogether unpleasant stinging sensation it causes on one's tongue. It is, however, also an indispensable tool for repelling insects. We sprinkle it over the fields where the Gishal greens are planted. Thanks to you, the crops will be untouched by pests this year. I hope one of our well-fed chocobos can return the favor by serving you as a mount someday. I also hope that. Let's take that. Wait, where did I... There we go. Equip that. Alright. We need to like clear inventory. We should be able to get a little bit of money for that stuff. Hit points have gone up quite a bit. Magic power is still the same though. 10,000. I haven't used any though. Not that I can recall. I'm sure I probably have. I just didn't notice it. I don't know. I do here. I can't do that one over here. It wouldn't let me. Let's go try it again. Maybe I screwed up again. Yes. The Duty Finder. By unlocking Duty Finder, you can now undertake multiple duties without having to form a party on your own. Press the U key or select Duty Finder under Duty in the main menu to bring up the Finder interface. Okay. Guild Hests are special operations organized by adventurers, guilds, and overseen by NPCs known as Battle Wardens. Speaking of the Battle Wardens, displays a list of all Guild Hests currently available. Please note, however, that each operation has conditions, such as level or class, that must be met by all party members before the duty can be commenced. At first, you may find that only a limited number of Guild Hests are accessible, but do not worry. As you progress in level, that number will grow. Guild Hests can now be accessed via the Duty Finder, removing the hassle of having to try and gather a party. Okay. So is that like WoW's Raid Finder or something? Dungeon Finder? I don't know. Journey to the Lavender Beds. So I got to go to the Lavender Beds. Crap. Let me do that. Journey to the Lavender Beds. I guess I just got done. Oh crap. Let me pay attention to what I'm doing a little more. Well-lit road. Okay, so Balar. Alright. After a bit of work, are ye? I have a task that needs doing. Take these Nemia lilies and leave them at the top of each barrow. You've doubtless seen the bones returned to life by foul magics, shambling around and harassing their surviving comrades. It hurts me soul to see it adventure. I cannot abide such blasphemy. 'Tis me hope that these lilies soothe their spirit and help them return to the matron's bosom. See me when ye've finished. I do like how people talk in this game. It trips me out. Breaking faiths. I can see how we go over here. Ooh, there's the smith. Let's see what that is. Easy peasy. I'm guessing we were supposed to come over to see the smith though. Well, where's the smith? She attacked me. Get away from me, glowflies. Easy peasy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But why does it have... Is it top of the tree or something? The smith. Yeah, I was trying to go to the smith. You've done holy work this morning, lad. How can I fathom what could drive the dead to rise up and seek to do us harm? But I pray that this helps put an end to it. May the matron watch over and keep ye safe. Give me those. Maybe I was supposed to go around. Let's go around. Oh, maybe it's up here. Doesn't look like we can climb up these cliff sides. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But it says it's supposed to be like in here. Like right around in here. Up in, maybe we're supposed to be up in that tree. Dungeon. We're gonna have to figure it out because I want to do the dungeon. Let's journey to the lavender beds and just get that done. Oh, there's a quest or a duty here or something. I don't know. Willing bones to deal with the slug problem. You must be desperate for work indeed if you would speak with me a second time. Either that or you've never learned to leave well enough alone. But if you're so bloody eager, then here's another job for you. Head on over to the hedge tree and clear out some nest of Saprophagoous slugs. Okay. All you need to do is sprinkle some of this flat ale On the ground, where you find the moist depressions, you should soon be up to your armpits in slugs. Don't let any of the buggers slither away, and make sure you find and clear out all 3 nests. Sure, we'll do that. Moist depression. Alright, let's do it. Killing some slugs. Alright. Yes, what troubles you? Yes, the boat. I had quite forgotten. On my task for the hedge tree as well. I am finished, but the elementals murmur of a malevolent presence in the vicinity of the Tam Tower of Deepcroft. I must abide a while longer, that I might better divine the source of the elemental's distress. Please inform Amelia that I shall be late in arriving. We'll let her know. Alright, let's get out of here. Report to Funa, Gallon Spire, speak to Armella, journey to the underbed. We're going to journey to the underbeds. Probably take a little break there. Once we get this done. Judging by the looks of you, no slug escaped unharmed. I don't suppose you have the faintest notion of what the Tower of Deepcroft is, do you? It's the final resting place of those who perished during the calamity. The slugs you so handily dispatched were feeding on the flowers we had laid there in remembrance to the fallen. The monsters multiply and food grows scarce. Perhaps there was naught else for them to feed on, but to see those wreaths disturbed thus was more than I could bear. And now I said too much. Here, take your board and leave me. You bear a message from Hero Leone, an evil presence in the deep croft. That does sound grave indeed. I shall organize a vessel for a later time, and perhaps a bell from now. 2? Better make it 3, just to be safe. Thank you for your trouble. Ooh. Yes, better move. Alright, let's get the next part. Salvaging the Scene. Our mail, a local at the Mirror Planks, wishes you to salvage cargo from the wreckage on the road. Yeah, I can do that. Might you assist me with another matter, sir? A wagon that departed from Quarry Mill was overturned on the road when some large, ill-tempered forest beast chose that moment to defend its territory. By Nafika's grace, the driver escaped without serious injury, but the wagon's cargo was not so fortunate. Being unwilling to risk another encounter with the creatures, I can only assume the goods remained strewn across the ground where the incident occurred. Simply follow the road here to the south, and you should come across the wreckage. Salvage what cargo you can, and deliver it to Keitha at Bent Branch Meadows, if you would be so kind. Sure. We're going to journey to the Lavender Beds. This battle for the Lavender, will you be traveling with us? I will. I don't know. I guess that one. How do I travel there, select. Travel to the first word? Yes. Okay. Okay, this looks pretty cool. I like this. Ooh, that looks nice. It's like mid-August. I would love to be in the water like that right now. That'd be great. Speak with the serpent recruit? Sure. Greetings, adventurer. Welcome to the Lavender Beds. Oh, you come at the behest of Diane Wayne? I regret to inform you that these plots reserved for adventurers. Your friend will not be permitted to take part in the missions. You, on the other hand, would be more than welcome to participate. Should you have a mind to purchase a plot for yourself, pray speak with the resident caretaker who can guide you through the process. Yeah, I don't. I just want to... For... Alright, so I need to go back... Let's go to Bit Branch. Okay, so... Okay. Yeah, I guess the Ethernet shards here, you can go to any of the districts. I don't know, but I didn't recognize any of those places. Traveler may interesting trip before you. Bit Branch. Yes. Whee! you. Good to see you again, friend. Did you learn anything about the lavender beds? I did. Oh, adventurers only? Is that so? Well, these are trying times, and it's more important than ever that we end with Britannia to attract capable individuals like yourself. I'm sure that one day my dreams will come to fruition. One day I'll have my own cottage and stables filled with my beloved chocobos. Cool. Just got another one. You can now teleport to the residential district. Lavender beds, Ethernet now accessible. Pit Branch Meadows connected by the fur-lined Corthus in the northwest and by the lumber line to Dunalern in the south. When seen on a map, the place where the two roads meet resembles a bent branch, hence the name. Cool, thank you. So now we need to salvage the cargo. But I think this is probably a good place. We'll stop here. I don't know how long I've been going, but I'm guessing a couple of hours at least. But I gotta get ready to go to work. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. For all of you that hung around to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. When I get back from work tonight, I'll get back on. I'm gonna try to see about streaming this game. I don't think YouTube will let me with my channel being so small, but I'll try. If not, I might go over to Twitch and try to stream over on Twitch. See how that goes. I don't know. I'll definitely be playing tonight. I'll be posting this video, I don't know, today or tomorrow. And maybe can start streaming this soon for you guys if you want. But hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Take care and talk to you guys later.